Dean, it's a lot to plan like a big event, right? There's lots of people involved, lots of moving parts, getting people from point A to point B.
Lots of dinguses.
Lots of dinguses. OxCon is not this weekend, but next weekend, and Marco and I have been poring over this agenda, like just getting every little, this might happen, or this might happen, or what if people don't want to do this? What if people don't want to do that?
Don't forget about the naps.
Don't forget about the naps, and then someone doesn't want to do this thing, or we can't do this thing. It's exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. Like I hate it. It's the worst. But I know that the OxCon itself is going to be fantastic, but it's like the journey to get there is difficult.
Yeah, the juice is worth the squeeze, but while you're squeezing, it's a little tough.
I'm looking less forward to it. I missed the movie of the week this week, admittedly, and Marco did say he's going to slap me in the face when he sees me.
Ben had all week. Ben had all week, and then tells me 10 minutes before the show he doesn't have time to watch it.
At least
that's like the third time he's done this.
I could have tried to fake.
I think he said 2 weeks.
I would have much preferred.
Dean and I picked it, but I didn't say in the face, Ben. First of all, I just said I'd slap you. So
yeah, he's gonna squeeze your juices at OxCon. So Eddie won't be here next week because he's I don't know what you're doing, but
I'll be in Texas.
Oh, okay. So, is everyone? What do you think? Are you excited? This is your second trip to see us.
I'm super excited. I'm excited to see your new place. I'm excited to hang out with you guys again.
Yeah.
The first year I went was super fun, and I'm staying a little bit longer this time, so that's cool. And I'm excited to meet Ben for the first time. That's probably
I wasn't
one of the
even a
big
nut in your eye
highlights.
at the time.
Holy cow.
I want to clarify, there's
Didn't
still
sound as
no
good as
nut in my eye.
It sounded in my head.
There are
Yes.
people nutting in Eddie's eye.
I know. What the hell?
Like
That costs
twinkle,
extra.
you know what I'm saying?
And hanging out, like, sharing it's going to be like a fucking frat house this time, so that's fun.
Bro, that house is gonna smell like foot and ass, bro. It's just gonna be. They gotta spray that house down.
You're
It's
gonna
gonna smell like
Chicago, dude.
nut
Bro.
and nut.
Bro,
Canadian nut. It smells different.
Wow.
It's like maple syrup.
Yeah, maybe some protein.
Jesus Christ. Ben's gonna be cooking fries and mashed potatoes in the microwave. with
French
gravy.
toast. Don't you worry about it.
Jesus Christ. Well,
It's freedom toast down here.
Yeah, so Marco, so you're excited, Marco. It'd be good to see you again.
Am I? It's the first.
I would
no,
hope.
I'm
One
very
would hope.
excited.
One would
Very
hope.
excited to see everyone. It's going to be a drunk, crazy time. I'm most excited to see, the wild card here. Mark Pearson, that guy is just an absolute wild card. Cannot
Yeah,
wait to embrace him. And obviously meet Ben for the first time, like Eddie said. A lot of good things to look forward to.
Yeah. Now, in advance, there may not be as much streaming as last year because the group is much, much bigger. But we'll try to take some vlog stuff. We're actually renting a movie theater. Shout out to Paul Schreiber. We rented a whole theater to watch Empire Strikes Back on Thursday, so it's really exciting. So we'll have some. If I can ever be bothered to edit it.
Are you going to knight Ben?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I can knight Ben and Marco. Yeah, of course. I could do it in person.
With your
With a
penis?
nut in the eye, huh?
Then,
No,
then
I'm
we
gonna
won't
put a
be
little
just
nut
guests
in each
anymore.
What's that?
We won't even be just guests anymore.
Well, do you guys want to be knighted? You guys have never really said. Like,
I mean,
we could keep things the way they are, where you guys do your own thing, and we but you'll have like the little bit of pomp and circumstance.
I can't cancel my channel now, so if that ends up being a request, I can't come over full time to you. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's too much. That's a lot of nut. We already have too much nut going on on this channel. Marco, would you like to be knighted as a knight of the Empire?
Well, yeah, obviously,
Would be an honor.
but
Yeah, of
course.
But yeah, well, I feel like we need a special term for Ben and myself. We just kind of live in this realm all by
Bannerman.
ourselves.
The banner.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
There we go.
I'll take it.
Dean, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say you have a Narsil hanging right
Yeah,
behind
I also
you.
have Gandalf the White Staff. I could do that too. I also have my penis.
The staff might be a little more.
That's the short sword, I think. Absolute Irwin's
Oh, look at this. What am I doing here?
What an unhinged
All
start to the
all
show.
the branding is just off. Let's just.
Bricks and
Oh my God. Let's just get this started.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the adult collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Shall we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Ben.
I'm Marco. Oh, damn it.
And I'm Eddie.
And I normally skip this part.
You usually go first. I was waiting. I was being courteous.
I knew I was last. So.
Gosh, welcome. This is awful. We're off to a terrible start.
Shabbat
Welcome
shalom, everyone.
Yes, Shabam Balan. Exactly.
Okay,
Peace unto you. Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank everybody out there in TV lands and the YouTube studio audience, wherever you're catching us, whether it's on the replay or live. We love and appreciate you, you sweet angels.
Wow, we have not a lot to talk about but that has never stopped us.
So much.
Dean, before we get into any of this small pile of news, we have a very special segment that we kick off all the best shows with.
That's right. We do. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Yes.
It's new this week. Bring in the energy today, Zach.
Wow.
Look at this guy.
It's a short show. Everyone's just waiting for OxCon.
It's a 3-inch show.
We gotta get through it. We gotta get through the tough times to get to the good times. Not that today's a tough time. It's a fun time.
Kind of tough.
But it's like when you have a package waiting for you and you're at work and you're like, I just want to get home, and open my package, my figure package.
Yeah.
It's
You know
like,
how
it's
that
like
feels
OxCon.
like?
Think
You
about
don't
how
work,
many
and then you're
packages
at home all
waiting for us.
What the fuck?
You're at home all the time. You don't go to
That
work.
seemed
What do
like
you
a
mean?
penis reference.
Yeah, but I've experienced it before. Or it's like
okay.
when it's like something's out for delivery and you're like, can you just show up, please? Like, come on.
Did you
It's
just
like you're
tell
a
him
bad
that he
person.
doesn't work? And that
Yeah,
he
he's a
doesn't know
bad
what
guy. Like he doesn't.
He
even know
tells me
what's
all the
wrong.
time. He tells me all the time he doesn't work.
That's not true.
Literally
I
all
work
the time.
I just have my own schedule, so when you ask me what I've been doing, it's nothing.
He honestly
That's
doesn't
why I
get
go to
leadership a
bed.
lot.
That's why I go to bed at like fucking 11 in the morning.
No, that's because you're
working
watching
all night.
anime porn, bro.
That's not true. Who told you that?
I did.
I thought yeah, it was Ben actually.
Man, I told you that in confidence.
Anyways, what'd you get to this week?
I actually did get 2 figures, but I was so don't really want them, so I put them up for sale. But
What 2 figures?
it's this is I don't even know what the fuck this is.
Wow, they're boxes.
So it's Avalanche Leader. It's Barrett from Final Fantasy 7, but the figure's not great. Unfortunately I pre-ordered it, so I was stuck with it after I saw it come out. I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have got that.
Okay.
So there's that. And then this one's actually pretty cool. Gangster Kingdom Vera. She's like a motorcycle assassin, which is cool because I have another story I was writing with a girl that's in a motorcycle outfit. And that's why I pre-ordered it, but I was just kind of I'm over it right now. So that's what I got, but
I'm with Erwin here. I really expected you to say Sonic, and when it wasn't, I was kind of.
I have one more, but I haven't picked it up. But I did get it.
Wait, do you
that'll
need
be
a
next
Cybersonic? Is that a figure that you need? I saw one
Cybersonic?
yesterday.
Or
Yeah.
Metal Sonic.
No, it was Cybersonic. I'm almost certain it was.
I saw a creamer at Walmart the other day.
Maybe it was Metal Sonic.
Wow.
Why were
I
they
saw a
doing
creamer
that
on
in
the
Walmart?
stream.
Metal Sonic would make sense. He was in the most recent wave. I haven't seen a Cybersonic.
Oh yeah, Metal Sonic. Do you need that one?
No, I have that one.
Okay, good, because I wasn't gonna pick it up for you, but just kidding.
Wow.
Well, if you told me you would have needed it, I would have gone back. My phone was dead, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, commit to memory, Cybersonic. Apparently, I was wrong. Marco, what did you get new this week? Hopefully, it was a light, because my goodness, the picture's dork.
Wow, I just took a picture of the figure. I wasn't trying to
It
showcase
looks
it
good
for everyone.
though. The figure looks good in the picture.
So this is the Cad Bane Deluxe from Hot Toys. Beautiful figure, honestly. Very, very happy. This is one that I'm glad. So we've been talking, about not pre-ordering, waitlist, all of this stuff for a while now, right? But I've been kind of consistently, there are figures where I'm like, I'm not going to miss out on if I can get it for no shipping, no sales tax. I'm going to lock in a pre-order. This is one that I was really happy when I saw all the people kind of freaking out that he wasn't available, that I was able to get. I think it turns out, and we may talk about this a bit more in depth on future shows, but it turns out like you could get these figures plenty of places, right? Just because he's sold out on Sideshow or waitlisted doesn't mean the figure's not available. But this is one very, very happy to have. And yeah, the deluxe version with Toto, really, really great package overall. So really happy.
It pisses me off to no end how good this figure looks. Because I fucking hate Cad Bane. And even I'm like, I should probably get it.
Yeah, I think it's just one that's just, it's transcendent, regardless of how you feel about the character, if you feel about the show. Like, it's just a really well done figure. The fact that the hat is like felt material is pretty cool. I kind of would have expected a harder hat, but it's kind of got that mixed media vibe. The coat isn't pleather, so you don't have to worry about that in terms of the longevity. So yeah, overall, a lot of big positives, and it's just a big figure overall. So just standing straight up and down like this, it looks really good, and you could obviously do some pretty cool dynamic poses with him because of the materials.
Mm-hmm. I really like the seamless faceplates that he comes with. That's so cool. Such a great transition.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, just a really high. Go ahead, Ben.
Maybe they'll have one at Stevens. When I come to OxCon next week, I am committing already in my mind's eye that I am buying a figure if we go out to the collectibles store. So I don't know what he has there, but this would be one I'd look for.
Keep room in the suitcase.
Okay.
Is the hat movable? Or
it is. It comes
fixed?
off completely. No, it comes off completely.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's
that's
a
cool.
soft material, and then the faceplates, like Ben says, switch out. So you can pose him with his hat off and him holding the hat, theoretically, if you wanted to.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
So, Eddie, rather, go ahead. Sorry.
I picked up another NECA Predator last week. So this is the Stalker Predator. I'm picking up all the Last Tribe Predators from the end of Predator 2. So this is the first one other than the City Hunter that I got from Predator 2. And they have little backstories for them that they didn't have in the movie, obviously, which is cool. So like you get to read a little story about like how this Predator became part of the Lost Tribe, and like he has a brother that's part on the Lost Tribe, which I have that Predator on order too, the Boar Predator, which is really cool. So and I have like one more of the Lost Tribe on order since I've got this one. I still haven't got the regular City Hunter because that like keeps getting pushed back. I ordered it from Target, and for some reason it keeps getting pushed back like every week. So I'm waiting for that one. But I've been having fun picking up these Predators. Like I've always wanted the NECA Predators, but I never really got into them. But I've been having a lot of fun with them, and it's cool because they're cheap, so I can get all of them and not have to worry about spending a lot of money. So that's really cool. But yeah, been having a lot of fun with them.
That's cool.
Very
right?
cool.
Would you ever try and do like a diorama display, or like go on like one of those Instagram influencers that like makes them buy one of those for these
Maybe
like, scale?
Dude, if I could get like a cool like to look like the ship with the like trophies scene in the background too, that would be sick. But
cool.
maybe if I have a like I was thinking about getting a Billy bookshelf like you have, and like doing if I had like a Dio on one of the shelves and have all the Lost Tribe on that shelf, that would be cool. But
that'd be real cool.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Wow. These are how much, Eddie? They're $40 a piece, I think.
Yeah, they're anywhere from like 30 to 40. I've been getting all of them on sale. Like Amazon has a good sale, so I've been getting them for around 30 to 35 bucks. But if you go to like Target or anything, they're like $42.99, I think, or they get pricey.
That's such a good price. Well, I mean, for you guys, like they're $70 for us, like based on the conversion.
Jeez.
$70 each.
$70, bro.
So like for me, it's
going
a high enough price point that I have a hard time justifying it, Eddie. Like you were saying, for you, it's cheaper. Like they're almost too pricey for me. It's like 3 of them, and it's a 6 scale. You know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure.
pretty close to it.
I'm trying to justify it by saying like there is no new Predator Hot Toys, so even if I wanted like to save money and get a better one, like I don't want the older ones. So I mean the newest one is the Wolf Predator. So maybe someday I'd pick that up, but I'm cool with just getting these for $30 or $40.
There you go. Let's see here. So I picked up. We showed this off yesterday on live unboxing. We ran a bit short, so Dean was doing a little Q&A about it. But I had an issue with my Crown Series Gandalf the White when it came in, and I still had to purchase a new head, but Asmus gave me like a bit of a discount. So the original head, I was able to fix the issue, and so I had picked up for really cheap the first Gandalf the Grey, or Gandalf the White rather, and it was perfectly serviceable. But Toy Anxiety ended up having a bunch of the parts that I wanted, and they've had them in stock for a while. I should have admittedly ordered this when they did their big sale a few months ago, but I ended up picking up basically all the outfit parts to the figure, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. I just need to pick up the belt and the sword from the new figure at some point, but put that together, and now have a second one, so if I want to pose one with the Shadowfax that came with it and one with the White Horse I already had, I'll have 2 to do that, and I don't think you can ever have too many Gandalf, so really excited for that. And
that's true. Who is this supposed to be?
Gandalf the White.
Oh, got it. Okay. No, I'm just totally messing around. Looks nice.
So the next thing I got, so we talked about this yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. Dean had PayPal'd me $20 live. But I had ended up securing on Friday morning the Gandalf the Grey upgrade package from Asmus. So that I thought it would ship like immediately, but it still hasn't shipped yet. So I did send them an email to kind of bug them about trying to ship that soon so we could get some content up for it. But shout out to Dean for doing that, and looking forward to being able to compare this to the original figure, and then also eventually when I get my InArt to compare Asmus's current portrait versus the InArt one.
You should get this again and kit bash him onto somebody that has like beach shorts on because he's so freaking tanned. I think it's kind of a funny Gandalf figure. Gandalf on vacation.
Yeah, because
I hate you, Ben. I just want you to know that.
We've for the past, God, how long have we been talking Gandalf? 2 years.
It's been a while since.
Because Zach got really into Lord of the Rings, and then the InArt was announced, and then here we are a year later. So yeah, like 2 years we've been like heavy on the Gandalf, and Zach's one of those guys that when he sets his mind on having like the perfect, like when he did his Darth Vader, that was several years long process of finding parts and matching them and fixing them to figures. And so it's like the same thing with the Gandalf. So when they announced this, he was like, I really want to get it, but $120, like it's kind of, and I'm like, dude, you kind of like owe it to yourself and the channel to get this. If $20 helps, like take it. You know, like like this has to happen. You have to have this. So
I appreciate that, because I mean, it's not like $20 was a difference maker, but it was like a little less of a pill to swallow, you know, because I had already paid for the Gandalf the White head, even though it was a discounted price. And then, you know, I just paid $530 for the InArt Gandalf. So I'm not saying by any means that this is better than the InArt Gandalf, but I do like to compare like everything out there. And I think from all the reviews that are out there at the moment, like, you know, they're like, this is the figure, but they don't really compare it to anything, you know, like Breda did the his review of the Pennywise, and he had the Hot Toys to compare it to. I think that was a really helpful frame of reference of like, here's one, here's another. And so again, I'm not saying this is better by any stretch, but I think this is a massive upgrade for the Crown Series Gandalf, and for people that may only want to spend $120, instead of paying $530 for a whole new figure. I guess it's a valuable option. So
the previous sculpt that we just saw on the white is the upgrade, right? Or this is the upgrade to that.
So this is for the gray figure. So basically what they did was take this portrait here and like the base, like the physical sculpt, and then haired it to match Gandalf the gray.
Oh, so it is the same sculpt as that right there.
Correct, but it's just with the more grayish hair than the white hair. But this is like 100 times better than the original Crown series sculpt, which had those weird like recessed eyes because they had the like the purr system in it. So this will be kind of a fun thing to look at and unbox. So hopefully Asmus ships it soon. They had already sold out, I think, by Sunday of the small batch. They were doing like 15 to 20 at a time, and they sold out pretty quickly. So I'm hoping that they ship mine soon so that we can take a look at it together. But
do you ever reach out to Asmus and ask them to like let you do a video for them, like a sponsor video? Because I feel like
no one
really does videos for Asmus either, except you. So you might as well say, "Hey, I'm out here speaking your guys' name," you know?
Yeah. So have I reached out? Yes. But okay, so first and foremost, when they had released this figure, they had done like their unboxing, and I had told them like, hey, we always talk about your stuff. Like, we have some great coverage of some of your other figures. One of our team members, Danny, had helped you guys in the past on a figure where you guys had some detail wrong and you guys fixed it. Can we repost that video on our social media, you know, with the disclaimer that they could buy it on your website? They said yes, but there was no like, we didn't get like a portion of sales or anything like that. And when my head had the issue, like the discount I got had nothing to do with being on CW. It was just like, hey, I could file a PayPal claim and get a lot of money back, or we can work together on a price on this replacement sculpt. You know, we can kind of both win in this scenario. But I don't know that they had ever really been that interested in it, but I do want to push it going forward, because with this one, it was so limited the stock that I didn't want to like email them and then be waiting for a few days for a reply. And by that point, we would have lost like a lot of time trying to get it done. But I think our Gandalf the White unboxing is one of the more like viewed ones on YouTube, because I think we were so thorough with it. But also, I kind of feel like if we got something, I would never be prejudiced, but I think like the outward appearance would be that we would be overly like positive on it. So I don't know, it's kind of tough. I was kind of hoping that we would have gotten an InArt. Yeah, I was hoping that we would have gotten an InArt Gandalf because of, you know, all the things that we had kind of helped with that figure, but that didn't happen. So
you should definitely do a Joy of Hobbying video once you get all of them, like this head and then the InArt figure. Do like a Joy of Hobbying futzing video, because like I think the Joy of Hobbying videos are some of the better videos on the channel. Like I like those ones a lot, and you do a good job on those. Yeah, and I bet that would get a shit ton of views because you could do like a comparison at the same time.
Yeah,
of all the other Gandalfs.
That would be cool, because when they come, I don't know how the gray one arrives, but the Crown Series, the Gandalf the White, it comes like in a little white box, and you have to futz it a lot because it's like the way that Hot Toys and InArt are doing is much better, where it's like it's almost like a display case. This one's like a foam. It's very fitted. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do something. I've heard that this one arrives better, so I don't know what exactly how it comes out of the box, but yeah, because it is, you know, like we futzed a lot of different Gandalfs live, and at the last one we did was that statue back there, and I just don't think a lot of people know how to futz, or they're kind of too scared to do it.
I think you've been saying that since day one, though, Zach. You've been saying like, hey, this figure, the InArt specifically, is going to involve a lot of work, and that's a big reason why 100%. I never ordered it. I was like, I don't want to mess with that. Like, I know that it's not going to look great right out of the box. What were you saying, Eddie?
And that's a good segue. That's what I was going to say. The Gandalf looks like it needs a lot of futzing. Like, I didn't really do anything with the Joker. It did like, when it sits in that case, the back of the hair gets bunched up because of the piece that holds it in the case. But you don't really have to do anything to it. For me, it looked good out of the box. But the Gandalf, I'm noticing like you have to do a lot to the beard and the hair to make it good.
Everything, and the robes too.
I've seen some photos of people that haven't futzed it either at all or well, I guess if I could say, and it doesn't look great. And I've seen people that have futzed it, and it's like perfect. So basically, what my goal is when we get the InArt Gandalf is we'll do like a live unboxing, and then we'll do a live, like as a part of that, a live futzing just to try to get it right. And if we can't get it in one session, we'll do like a second video. But that is the goal. And then maybe during that live unboxing, do some comparisons. And then if it needs a more standalone Joy of Hobbying, then we could do that. But yeah, it's going to be a long stream when we get that. So it'll be one of those like only the Uber Gandalf nerds will probably care about. But you'd be surprised that those videos don't get a lot of views, though. I think some of my Joy of Hobbying videos, like 10, 20
I don't know
views.
why. I love those kind of videos.
Yeah.
Well, the Mandalorian one got a lot. Just
that one did, but I think
because
everyone
fixed the body.
Yeah, that one. I think that's one of our number one videos. But let's get into the news. I think Ben had to step away, but I know he's quite excited for this one. We have the Hot Toys Robocop blogger photos. I think, again, continuing the trend that Marco noticed where occasionally figures are getting put out, hitting the streets of Hong Kong before we actually see the blogger photos, which is a bit odd. Now, I will be completely honest. I don't know. My scope of knowledge is Gandalf and Vader. Like, I just don't really know a lot about properties outside of this. So, to me, I think this looks okay. But I know some of the more hardcore fans of the franchise were a bit upset. On the right is sort of what we were solicited in the prototype photos. On the left is what we have from the production. Some people are saying that it could be like a lot of these YouTube videos. People are, they're filming on a white box or like a all white background. And I don't know if that's true or not. I can't really speak to that. But I will say, for me personally, my thoughts on it are, I think that there are paint processes that you could do where you could preserve this color, in an all white display case or a dark display case or, a open air display. And it seems like if that is truly the case, which I don't believe it is, then it's kind of a letdown, right? Like if it's truly not this like blue iridescent paint. But again, it's very early since this has been released. I haven't seen a ton of photos, but every photo that I've seen looks quite silver. It doesn't have any of this bluish, purplish hue. Any of my Robocop boys want to in the chat or here if you guys have any?
Yeah, because I don't really
know, to be honest.
I was looking at screenshots from the movie Robocop 3 because there's subtle differences each movie. But the paint is very clearly that iridescent purple blue. It's not just flat silver like this. I thought maybe it was. I was like, no, I remember it being different, but going back and looking, it's very clearly not. So that is a little disappointing. I don't see how, even if you were in a super white environment like this, how you would not still see the bluish, purple, pinkish. I could see a little bit of pink, kind of like in the bicep and the shoulder area, but I mean it's very clearly just silver, flat silver.
Interesting.
So
I still think it looks cool, just not accurate.
Charlie says the RoboCop 3 actual paint was pretty close to what we got.
I'm so excited for this figure, boys.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this one. I paid this off like pretty quick. I've been waiting for it to like hopefully get the shipping notice. Like we've got that eagerness that you get. But this is one of those figures that for me, like since I started collecting Hot Toys, when I thought of Hot Toys and how cool they were, especially after I got my my very first Iron Man, my first thought was how cool would a Robocop feel in hand. I never got to see any of the originals in hand, so like for me, this is going to totally fill out my Robocop nostalgic section of the collection. I think that the prototype photos were a little too on the bluish purple side, because the first film was a very silver look to it. The second film, they went really far and like made it like really bluey purple. And then the third film, they toned it down a little bit and made it a little bit more on the silvery side, kind of like Charlie the Unicorn is saying. So I think it's probably somewhere in between here. I do think if it wasn't the bright white lighting, kind of like you mentioned, Zach, I do think it would look a little bit more on that toned look anyways. Unfortunately, this is a hard one to probably photograph well, because it's going to be so receptive to its environment that it's going to change the look of the figure. Either way, though, it's super badass. I think the only thing that I don't feel excited about is the jetpack. I doubt I will ever display it. I think that'll sit in the box, or like I'll give it to Deadpool to like pretend like he's putting on, or like something like that. But he's gonna stand there without the jetpack, 100%.
When you get it, I'd be curious if you took some sort of not all white boxed photos. I know you have white cabinets, but if you could take a more neutral photo.
I've got a light box with several different colors, like color like inserts that I can use.
Yeah,
Let's take some pictures for you.
Hell yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, so this one I'm kind of the opposite direction on some folks, where the fact that it looks a bit more silver in pictures is actually a lot more appealing to me. I never was a big fan of the Robocop films growing up, but I had a bunch of the toys. For some reason, my parents thought it was appropriate to buy me something from an incredibly violent film.
So violent.
But right, but yeah, so just a representation of Robocop would be really cool. And I really like what I'm seeing here. Knowing that RoboCop 3 maybe isn't the best of the films. So this is would just be like a standard RoboCop representation. I like the jetpack too, Ben. I think it's adds some really cool flair to it overall. So yeah, one that I'm keeping my eye on. No pre-orders secured on this one, but maybe a pop culture pickup down the line if a price is good enough on this. But yeah, very, very intrigued by the way this came out. And I will say on the blue, plenty of the blogger photos have that blue tint there. So I think it's still in existence. And like you guys are saying, just depending on how you photograph it, it's going to show different colors, which is pretty intriguing. That's pretty cool and unique for Hot Toys.
The other thing I'm most excited about, and I forgot to say this, is those mouth plates are 100% Peter Weller's mouth plates. They are not the other actor, Robert Burke. I had to look him up every time. I can never remember that poor guy's name, but the fact that it looks like Peter Weller under the helmet there makes it feel way more like a film 1-2 version anyways. Unfortunately, the jetpack isn't from those films, so that's why to me I probably wouldn't display it that way, but it's still cool. I will give you that, Marco. 100%.
Peter Weller went to my high school.
Oh, yeah, really?
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here. So Sabine Wren by Hot Toys. This one's $271, releasing July to December 2024. I think that this is, I think, as close to perfect as I've seen in a while. I would say the only thing that it may need is just a tiny bit more cleft in the chin. But man, this is incredible. You got that beautiful hair sculpt, beautiful portrait. The armor looks great. There's an Ahsoka in this photo here. Not quite sure if this is the one that we've already had from the Mando
Looks
season.
Like the same one, yeah. Same sculpt.
It appeared at least to me. We also get a second sculpt of the Loth Cat, which I think is interesting. I think this figure looks great. I think the price is okay. We do get those separate rolling eyeballs. I think there's two things that are missing. The first, I would say, we don't see it here, but I know she spends much of the, I want to say at least the second episode, but also I believe the first, wearing this outfit, but without the armor attached. And I hope I don't think this is what it is, but it would be nice if there was a way to remove the armor, but still not have Velcro patches all over the figure. And there's also one accessory I think is missing, and if anyone tells me what it is, I will give you a point for hot seat. Does anyone know what could be added here?
The training helmet.
Okay, that's actually one I didn't think of, but I'm going to give you a point for that. And then there's one more.
Yeah,
Ben, you're on mute.
I don't know.
No, I'm trying to see. I'm trying not to breathe too loud
so
into the microphone.
Was it the spherical map thing?
Yeah, so a point for Dean and a point for Marco. I have no clue why they didn't include at least the map, because she did spend like a whole episode working on it. But Marco, you were 100% correct. The training helmet would have been awesome.
I thought you were going to say long hair, maybe as a swap out.
What if
that
they're
also
waiting...
would have been awesome. That would have been pretty cool too.
What if they're waiting to give the map to what's his name?
Balin?
But it,
yeah, Balin.
well, to like any other character, right? But it's like,
Or one of them, yeah.
why hold that back though, right? Like it costs nothing for them to add that to the figure. at least I would
Sometimes those
think.
little accessories are like, okay, well, I was already going to get Sabine, and now he comes with this, so I guess I'm going to get him as well. Sometimes that could be the deciding factor for some collectors. That's how crazy we are. So I kind of get when they do that. They kind of spring, like
Holy
with
shit.
the whole Doc Brown.
Yeah.
He comes with the stopwatch. It's like, okay.
Yeah. With that being said, I think I'm gonna try to print some for Zach's Wonderland. So hit me up if you want them. Anyways, Dean, what do you think?
Yeah, this figure is damn near perfect. I see what you're saying with the chin. She does have a little bit of bigger dimple.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that it's just a little bit of a cleft.
Yeah, but dear God, they fucking knocked this out of the park. I think this figure looks fantastic. I really, really want to get it, but Sabine is a Mandalorian, and she usually, historically, has a jetpack, and it really makes me mad that she doesn't come with one, which makes me think that we're going to get a Sabine later on with the jetpack. And I'm like, should I just wait? Or should I just 3D print one? But, she
3D
paints her
print.
shit all fucking wild. So it's like, do I really want to go through all that? Or just see if they come out with another one? So
It'll be you, Dean. Get this one.
it looks incredible. Like, I will probably own this. But I have a whole year, right? July to December 2024. I mean,
Yeah. You got
Come
time.
on.
You got time.
yeah. So we'll see how many episodes are left? 4? 3?
Three
I think
now,
including
right?
today is 3.
3. So we'll see how it goes. I don't think she's gonna get Jet back in this season, but season 2, the Mando got one. So
Dean, and on that transition really quickly, I just have to say one thing. Hey, everyone, welcome to a podcast within a podcast. Don't be that guy. If you've already seen the episode, please stop
Oh,
posting
don't be
shit
that
on
guy.
social media in the comments. Please don't be
Bro.
that guy. I just looked right now. Come on. You're not being cute by alluding to something that you think like, oh, it's vaguely a spoiler. Just knock it the fuck off. Give people a few days. Let them watch the freaking thing. So don't be that guy.
I like angry Marco.
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah, well,
Horny.
it pisses me off. I'm with Marco. I've seen so many. Yeah, it's just bad. Even just now, like just going through.
Let's kill him.
Yeah, let's murder
him
him.
Take him out.
Anyways, real quick, Bob says 26 points of articulation. So I would say she'll be single jointed like the other female Mandos. GG
You
says,
could
"Wow,
see
just
it
tag
there.
me next time, Marco." Yeah, it's bad. Yeah,
She can't
Yeah.
bend her arm.
There's a couple things I do like about this figure. I'm not a huge fan of the character yet, and I haven't watched Rebels, so I think I'd have more of a connection to her if I had. But obviously, I really like the Loth cat. It reminds me of Hannah's cat, actually, so I might see about getting this figure just in general for the Loth cat. But I do like that she looks like she comes with a hand that's capable of holding the helmet there under her like at her waistline, which is very cool. I don't think I've seen that with any other Mando figure yet, and so that's nice. And then the hologram that it comes with is not like a standard Star Wars hologram. It's got color to it, which I thought was unique as well, and a little more like detailed looking, I guess.
yeah, technology is advanced.
Technology's advancing, so you love to see it. So I think it's a very cool figure. I do think the likeness is very strong. I would have liked to see the 2 hair sculpts, mostly because I personally liked the character more with the long hair, even though I understand that in Rebels she normally rocks the short cut, and I think that's what people were expecting. So I think it would have been cool to have the option, but I can see why they didn't do it.
Yeah, I agree with Ben. I would have liked to see the other hair too. Even though I'm used to her with the short hair, I did like the way her hair looked when it was long. So that would have been cool to see. I was gonna say I noticed this comes with a waist grabber instead of a crotch grabber.
Oh yeah, I wanted to point that
Look
out.
at that.
Good shit, Eddie.
Look at that, Eddie.
Yeah,
that's
I
a
just
point right
noticed
there,
that.
my friend.
Whoa,
That is a
hell
point
yeah.
right there.
Considering
But-
she doesn't have the jetpack, that's odd.
That is odd, huh?
Oh, maybe there's some extra accessories coming. I always think it's so silly when they do that. It's like, just make another graphic. Because then the whole show, I'm gonna be thinking like, whoa, what could it be? I don't know. I don't like that.
It's funny Dean brought up the jetpack because I would love it if she came with the jetpack on the figure, but I noticed it more in the last episode when like her and Ahsoka are running through the woods, and I was like, maybe they didn't give her a jetpack because she would have just like left Ahsoka behind running while
the
she
fuck
flew
out.
to wherever they were going. I was like, I wonder if that's why she doesn't have a jetpack right now. But yeah,
Do you guys? I know with Andor, and Kenobi, there wasn't there was a few figures, but not as many as I think they could have made. Do you think that we're gonna get a Balin and Shin, or even like
I
a
feel
Morgan?
they're gonna
Elsbeth?
milk the hell out of this show.
hope
They're gonna
so.
give
You would-
it'd be like Mando.
You would think,
I think
right?
so.
They're my two favorite characters of the show.
Has the show been doing pretty well? It's been received fairly well, right? From
I don't know. I haven't seen anything about the numbers.
yeah.
The
Again, I
fourth
think
episode
that's-
got a ton of hype, right? So
Well, it's in theaters. It's got to be.
fifth episode.
There has
today.
to be
Yeah, it's-
some good viewing behind it.
You would think so.
Pablo says, "Are we going to discuss Force Master Yoda this week?" I think he asked last week. We can talk about it because I felt bad that you asked last week, but the way that the show works, if we all forget to put it on the show sheet, it just doesn't get talked about. So I think last week we forgot, and
I can share it
because it was old news. That do you have the slides, Ben?
I have the slides. I'll share it in a few minutes.
Perfect.
What even
perfect.
is that?
Could you share it now?
It's
by
a third
chance?
party Yoda. Dean.
Hang on, let me see if
So-
I can find it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
And while you guys are looking for that, I guess I'll give
Prequels.
my thoughts on this.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so this is a show that I'm not particularly in love with. I haven't seen Rebels like we talked about, so I was kind of discouraged that it feels like you may need to have seen that to really connect with the characters. I feel like a good show would really kind of, introduce you to the characters, and it's doing an okay job, but it could be doing a better job. That being said, last episode was pretty good. I'm excited to watch this next one. When this dropped, I was like, I don't have that connection to the character yet, but it looks so good. Like we talked about those transcendent figures. Aragorn was one of those figures for me where I'm like, it just looks so great in figure format that if I have a slight connection to the character, I feel like I just want this representation. Now that is scary. That's a slippery slope because you start doing that and you end up with figures that you don't love. But I think, I've already got Ahsoka. I've already got other figures in the Mando line that I think could go really well with this. And I'm going to just count this in the Mando line because it's all kind of that Filoni verse. So at the end of the day, it's like she is a Mandalorian with a lightsaber and a really S-tier head sculpt from a prototype. So one that I decided I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the pre-order queue. I think it just looks really terrific, and the cat is just a nice little addition. What's that, Eddie?
I want to give a hot take right now that I might get shit for, but I really want it. I don't want to pose it alone on the shelf. And I know we're going to get more stuff from Rebels, so like we'll probably get an Ezra. If they ever show Zeb, I would love to get Zeb. I know they showed him in the other show, I forgot, in Mandalorian Season 3, but they haven't shown him in this yet. But I don't want a live-action Ahsoka hot toy. And I feel like I should have an Ahsoka with her, and I don't want to put the Clone Wars one with her because it's not Clone Wars. It should be the Rebels Ahsoka. But I really could care less to own Rosario Dawson Ahsoka in my collection. So I was like, fuck.
Interesting. Okay.
That makes me not
I'm
want it.
100% with you, Eddie.
She's been my least favorite character in the show so far.
Yeah.
She's kind of like non-existent as a character, honestly. They've given her some cool things to do, but in
And-
terms of like dialogue, she's just kind of flat, which is unfortunate.
At first, when Zach was like, she's like too Ahsoka-y, she's like too like, I forgot what you said in the chat, Zach, but you were like, she's too like, you know how she is. She doesn't say anything. She kind of seems like aloof.
She's
and
like just like says one-liners and just acts.
Yeah,
like
I feel
she's
like
so
she-
wise. It's so annoying.
She
I
has
fucking
it, but too much. Like it's too much. Like so good. I'm like, dude, say something. Have a little more like
Emotional.
I don't know,
range.
character. Yeah, have a little more personality. But fuck. So I.
How do you feel about her in Mando when they introduced her? Because I liked her characterization a lot.
I
She had
think-
some great lines.
I think it's just
like
the
it either.
character that makes me like it. It's not her. It's not. Well, the fighting scenes are cool. Obviously, like the action is cool, but nothing about her makes me like the live action more. I think it's just my love for Ahsoka and the animated series that's holding her up for me.
Yeah, let's stay away from Ahsoka talk. I don't want to get the chat talking Ahsoka because I know people are just coming in after seeing the episode and don't want us to accidentally be spoiled or spoil.
Well, Gigi got pissed at me.
So this is the Force Master. This one went up for pre-order. I want to say last week, and we had not had it on the show sheet. This is a third-party Yoda for those that are in the audio. Comes with a Coruscant display. Comes with the Yoda's chair. I like the closed eyes there portrait, but to be honest, I'm not that familiar with this company 12 World, so I don't know that I can really give a genuine opinion on it. It seems nice. That's really all I can say. You get some hands and feet, saber swinging effect there. Yeah,
I feel like it's way better than it seems nice. I have not been able to find a Yoda for a very long time, at least anywhere locally in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that this is even an option is pretty sweet. There hasn't been a lot of secondary market Star Wars figures out there that exist, but like when I think back to like the Anakin with like the Karen hair, for example, like that was a freaky looking figure for an Anakin. This looks just like Yoda, which tells me they might have recast it potentially. Like it's real damn close to what already exists out there. And I think it's cool that it comes with this little like sex toy short dick chair thing there that he's got. Looks like a very odd thing.
Wow.
That's what it looks like to me, but I think it's cool
not
that he
short,
comes
Ben.
with it.
It's perfectly sized.
It's perfectly sized.
One thing I would caution. I'm not saying this company is doing this, but there have been times where companies will show a prototype and they're just showing like the actual Hot Toys figure. So I'm not saying this company's done it. I don't know who this company is. They could be with third party. Sometimes like Mars Toys and Jupiter Toys, like they're the same company but the different name. So I think part of why we didn't put this on the show sheet was I wasn't sure who this was. So I think if it comes out looking like this, it's fantastic. But
This is Yoda.
yes, it is.
I wanted to say that too, Marco.
Wait, what?
Because you said I don't know. I didn't know who this was. I think it.
He
looks
still doesn't
really
get
cool.
it.
I mean, I get it. It's just the way you
It's not funny?
came in
Wow.
like super loud.
It's cool
you're
that
funny.
you could, like Ben said, you don't see much third-party Star Wars stuff, so it's cool that at least you can see someone's out there thinking of third-party Star Wars stuff, And Yoda, he does have one. Well, he has two Hot Toys, right? But like the prequels one is expensive now, I guess. I didn't know that it was that much in the secondary market, but it's cool. It looks good. I don't know if it'll be as good as the Hot Toy one, but it at least looks good in these pictures. So, and you get the chair, which you don't get with the Hot Toy prequels.
That may be from the
Yoda.
sideshow. The sideshow.
Yeah, that's what I
version.
was thinking.
It does make me wonder, though, if we're going to see a new or reissued Hot Toys version coming at some point. Because I feel like a lot of the time when we see like a third-party figure that's like this, like it's followed up by a Hot Toys announcement. And we've been seeing a lot of reissues, especially if Star Wars is on fire for people going back to the original stuff, right?
We might see it as a Clone Wars release.
Clone Wars?
Yeah, I could see them doing one in the Clone Wars line.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It's a matter of time. He's too iconic of a character for them not
Do you
to
think
do
that
another version.
they would though? Because Sideshow just made theirs, and I know it seems like they don't do a lot of crossover. Like if Sideshow's doing a version, Hot Toys won't do it.
Yeah, except they're Luke's.
God, that was terrible. I think that's probably why they still have those Lukes for sale. So,
But on that though, Hot Toys did an Ahsoka from that line. They did Anakin. They did an Obi-Wan from that line. Cad Bane was in Clone Wars, but they did their own Cad Bane. So I don't see what would preclude Hot Toys from doing a Yoda.
well,
just
they
because
stopped. They
Sideshow
didn't
did
do
one.
the Cad Bane, right? We
Well, I
talked
guess
about it last week.
Sideshow didn't. Sure.
Yeah, they ended up axing that one.
Which is the one. That's the one I was waiting for.
The only good
Yeah.
looking
Over
one.
the Hot Toy.
Because it
was
seems
"Damn."
like with Kenobi, right? Like we never got the clone armor Kenobi because Sideshow had done that one, and although I guess we also got the Anakin, which I don't recall if theirs has the armor. I don't think it does. The chest armor.
Yeah, it does.
The animated Sideshow one has the chest armor.
Oh no,
me
no!
double
I
check
thought you
that.
meant the Hot Toy. No, the
Yeah,
animated.
the Hot
doesn't.
Toys was. Well, I'm saying like they're close enough, but they don't ever cross over directly, and so they just gave us a Yoda from Clone Wars. So, just a thought. Lego news real quick. The Lego Venator 650 releasing 10-1 for VIP members. I believe it's 10-4 for non-VIP members. VIP is free if you really want this. I think this looks cool. I'm a little bit shocked that you only get a grand total of 2 minifigures. You get Captain Rex and Admiral Yularen. Yeah, this thing is massive. It's like 43 inches long, 5,374 pieces. Set number 75367 if you want to look that up.
About 40 inches more than you would ever need to.
I mean, I think a 3-inch Venator might be plenty to get you from point A to point B. But let's move on here. InArt.
I'm sorry, really quick noob question. I apologize. Somebody out there might be thinking the same thing. What show is that particular vehicle from? Because I don't necessarily recognize
So
it.
this is from episode 3 and then also the Clone Wars.
Episode 3. Okay, don't recognize that.
So when they're doing that big ship battle of Coruscant, the droid army, they have like those little circular ships, and then I think they also have other ships, but the clone army, they use these kinds of like, they're like the pre-Star Destroyers.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't know if they have the red stripes in episode 3. I have to go back and rewatch it, but the main ship that Anakin uses all the time has the red ships, and that's why you have Yularen and Rex. Those are his like first officer and captain. But yeah, these are like the sort of evolution of the Star Destroyer up into the Galactic Empire. So
thanks.
Good question. InArt, they gave us a Batman update. Let's see here. Let's get to the news here. As you may recall from our previous announcement in February, we embarked on a journey to enhance the realism of these collectibles and provide you with an even more immersive and enjoyable experience. We took your feedback seriously and made substantial optimizations to the head sculpt and the armor, including the cape and the helmet. We're delighted to hear these updates have met your approval, and we truly appreciate your positive response. Batman is currently in production and on schedule. We're committed to increasing our efficiency without compromising the quality and quantity of production. Our aim is to deliver these products and collectibles to you by the end of this year. The production and development has been a challenging one, but our dedication to bringing you the most satisfying 1/6 scale Batman has been unwavering. We've meticulously studied stills, compared various fabric options, and even scrutinized the stitching of the garments to ensure we capture every detail faithfully. So, wasn't quite sure what they meant by the updates have met their approval, because they're just showing us these updates without ever showing us the progress.
I know, I was confused by that too.
But I think this again goes back to my constant criticism, and Marco's as well, with InArt, which is controlling the messaging and showing us these changes clearly, right? A side-by-side might have been nice. Shooting this on a white background, I think, would have been amazing. It does look good, and obviously you can see, where the background ends and the figure begins. But I think having this on white, I think, would have been just a little bit better. We get looks at the Bruce Wayne portrait unmasked, both sculpted and rooted, and then again for the sort of civilian look, again sculpted and rooted. So looking at this as a standalone photo, I don't quite know what has changed. I thought it looked good before. I think it looks good now. Yeah, I don't know. I think the yellow on the suit perhaps needs to be a bit brighter. That's really the only criticism I can yield at this point, but it looks good.
This figure looks so sick, man. This is one of those ones where like the movie's good, no doubt, but it's not like my favorite, so I feel like I don't need it, but at the same time it's Batman and he looks sick in the suit, and every time I see it I'm like, why didn't I pre-order this one?
This one's going to be incredible.
Yeah,
you got the sculpted, Ben?
I've got the sculpted one pre-ordered, and after watching Joao Bretta's video today of his Pennywise figure, even compared to the Hot Toys one, as good as I think that Hot Toys one is, just seeing like the level of detail they put in, like the skin texture and like the cracking on the head and all that stuff, makes me that much more amped for the detail on this particular figure. Because I loved the film, I'm really excited to get the character in hand. I think it looks amazing. So
yeah, I think this one could end up being significantly better than the Hot Toys, and I'm planning on getting both, but I should be careful. Gigi's in the other room, but yeah, I think that this looks great. You're completely right, though, Zach. I don't know what I'm really looking at besides just like a really nice looking figure. Like if it's an update, be a bit more deliberate about exactly like the format's just all fucked up. But at the end of the day, if their products are going to be this strong, come final product, then all right, I think we're not going to complain too much about that. It's just a bit confusing in terms of exactly what they're telling us here. But yeah, this looks awesome. I know one of the complaints we had was the length of the cape, and it looks like that's completely resolved as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything about this, from the sculpted to the cowl versions, looks incredible. So I can't wait to get this in hand in 2025.
They said in the end, it says right here that you will have it by the end of this year, doesn't it?
Well, that's the China collectors. We get it when our respective distributors get to
Yeah, and
it,
I think
so.
Marco was being funny.
He's not really
being cheeky
funny
for
today.
sure.
He's not really
He's
that
trying
funny.
to be funny today.
He's trying.
I'm just saying things. I'm just saying things.
I thought you were gonna be, seeing one dead Latino right here.
I like that.
So
one dead Latino.
It bothers me though, like, and I know if you listen to this channel, you're probably tired of hearing it, but it's like they're telling us they're doing all this stuff, like looking at fabric swatches and this and that, and then it's like, oh yeah, here's the museum that has the Gandalf costume, and they're like, like they just what? But I'm excited for this. I don't have a Batman on pre-order. It seems like there's people that I talked to today that were able to secure a Gandalf or secure a Pennywise the day of release.
Well,
so
Gandalf was... I feel like Gandalf went up a couple times, didn't he? This one didn't go back up.
On 1.6 kit, Gandalf went up a few times, and I think this might still be available on Spec Fiction, honestly.
Oh, thanks.
You'll be waiting till 2025.
I don't want it. I was looking on Kit, and he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, he'll put these all back up, though. There'll be various waves.
Yeah, usually with Kit, I think it's like after the initial, supply goes out. I think there's sometimes some left over, but don't quote me on that.
If I get it, this will be the first time I ever parted anything out. I'm going to throw that fucking Bruce Wayne head sculpt in the trash, bro.
Wow, holy cow. Just make a drifter, bro. Send it to Zach so he can make a drifter.
I will, dude, I'm not lying. If you want it, I will send it to you.
I want it.
I don't want that at all.
I want it,
Fuck
bro.
yeah.
Present Toys put up Motorcycle Boy. What's his first name? It's Kaneda, but what is his first name, Dean?
It's red.
Kaneda?
His name is Akira Kaneda from the movie
His name's
Akira.
not Akira.
Well,
Akira's a different character.
195 releasing Q2 to Q3 2024. Now, it's important to note this is the price that I'm giving you is just for the figure. It's not for the motorcycle. I haven't yet seen a pre-order for the motorcycle go up. So if you're in the chat and correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen the motorcycle. I don't know if they just intend you to use the one that's already out there, but I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think the portrait looks particularly good, but I think the outfit looks great. And again, if they're offering this without the bike, I don't really know who this is for, because I feel like everyone that has the bike already has a Kaneda, so I guess I just don't know.
I think Erwin said his first name in the chat.
It's Shotaro. Yeah.
Shotaro. Bless you. Just kidding.
I
missed John.
Yeah. I think, and I've owned, and Zach, you have too. We've owned Metacom figures, and they're not great.
Yeah.
They deteriorate like nobody's fucking business. They're usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
The Akira one, they reissued it recently. It's up for sale right now on BBTS. On sale, by the way, for $250. Really? I think the original price is like $350, which
was expensive. Because I think it has a leather jacket, if I'm not mistaken.
It's too much, honestly. And it's not particularly great. I think this figure, even with how non-accurate the sculpt is just as good as that one, because that one's also not very accurate. Mm-hmm. I love this. I think it's badass. I love Kaneda. I could justify having Kaneda and the bike. I can't justify just having Kaneda if I'm not also going to at least have Tetsuo.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, so if...
no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
I would say this
have
looks
you never
much...
seen Akira?
This looks much better than.
Oh, I know my movie of the week is going to be.
I just read the manga. I haven't seen.
I've never seen it either, Dean. So
I've seen it. We've watched this movie of the week.
That's
Marco, I know you're just fucking kidding, saying you
just
read
totally
the manga.
joking.
Yeah, because there's, you absolutely know who the fuck I was.
By joking,
okay, quickly,
lying to everybody.
Sean says, "Kid said no bike yet. Depends on how well the figure sells. Appreciate that." And then Sunnyville Russ says this is the Bandai Tamashi bike in the photos. So
yeah,
a bit.
The bike's not impossible to get. It's, no, you could get them pretty easily. Because that was also reissued. Too, so now there's a bunch of them out there. And there's also another company that sells a 6-scale version. So, yeah, it's not...
Bro, I want so bad, bro.
I want one to do... No bullshit, Zach. Like 3 days ago, I had a dream you had the bike on your shelf. And I was like, why the fuck don't I have the bike if Zach has it? I was mad that you had it.
We should make that a reality. Anyone want to give me their bike?
Well,
I do think
like
the only
a
weird
Stranger things have
elementary school
happened.
kid.
the only weird thing about this figure that I'm spotting, at least to me, is the small picture here with him winking. It looks like he's having an allergic reaction in his one eye. That
does.
doesn't
It's
look
how Ben.
bruised.
it's like droopy and down. It's weird looking.
Yeah,
But
he
otherwise,
is,
it's
dude.
cool
That's why
looking.
he has to take all those drugs.
Oh my god, that's bad for education.
Wow. Anyways, that was we'll move on. That was
Nobody else,
exciting.
just me and Zach have seen Akira.
Yeah,
what the
fuck,
fuck?
guys. Fucking
Someone
article.
pick it for
I
movie
don't like
of
to
the
talk
week,
about
alright?
it.
Big fan.
Well, it's, Marco, we picked the movie and then we just don't watch it. So just kidding.
Yeah,
Top
apparently,
shelf.
Jesus.
To
Source subject.
be honest,
Only when
Ben,
they suck.
I wish I didn't watch it. It was a fucking awful film.
Oh, bro,
Um,
this is one of... Anyways, we'll get there.
We'll talk about it. Abe Dunk says, I work at FedEx now, boys. Let me know what y'all need. Yeah, if you see a box that says
Decent.
Akira, just ship it to me. Do Hot Toys collectors, or just collectors in general, this was Ben's topic, really want higher tier, higher priced options? And what should our expectations be of that line? Ben, this was your topic. I'm going to let you kick us off.
I love how you say it's my topic, just in case it fails entirely, and then
No,
that's
I say it's your
totally
topic.
on me for
No,
making this.
no. I say it's your topic because you are the idea man for the show. I've never denied that. And
Him
I
saying
want
it's
the credit.
your topic
To be
is
fair,
more of a jab at the rest of us for not saying shit
Never
when he
coming
tagged
up
us
with
okay.
any-
like
To,
3
to
times.
be fair, I was drowning. Everyone was watching me drown, and it wasn't until Ben came and threw me a fucking lifeboat. I was like, "So guys, we have any topics?" And like 3 hours went by, and I was like, "Okay, don't really like the topic we're gonna go with. If anyone has a topic," I ended up weaving them together. But again, everyone just fucking read it. And then I think Mark Pearson was talking about some random shit. And I'm like, focus, guys. Fucking Tuesday. And then finally Ben started typing. And I was like, hold up. Let him cook. The man is here to save me. And he did.
So, top shelf. So, high tiers, different tiers, higher levels of collecting. Figures that cost more money because they have like an artisan line name attached to it. Or they're deemed more premium by the company that's creating them. And the question for me kind of came out of thinking about the artisan line, and most specifically about the Anakin Artisan's figure that we saw recently, where we're paying more premium, it's limited, there's this big craze to get it, the figure head looks phenomenal, but was the price justified because things like the leather or the pleather is still pleather? Like, they didn't upgrade some of those types of materials. So do collectors really do they actually want a premium line? And if so, what do we expect from that premium line going forward then? Because I feel like we need to be a little bit more clear, or the dollar amounts are going to continue to rise and we're still going to get about the same quality we were getting in the past and just end up paying more for it. So, but that's the thing. So should we start demanding it? What should we expect from things like the Hot Toys Artisan line or the higher tiers from the InArt? Because they've now shown that they've got a couple of different levels of quality, basically, that I think will ultimately piss people off also. So there we go.
So
Damn it! I didn't know this was a line.
Okay, so
that's
this
the
is,
end of your segment. This is now starting his thing.
Well,
just so we're clear.
no. I just wanted to present the information, then we can talk about it. So, Bob Dylan had sent me these photos. I want to say the one on the right is from his Joker packaging. The one on the left, I don't know that I was ever quite sure where that one came from. So, we've been wondering about the InArt SKUs because they're very weird. Like, some are PT, I think Joker's PT001, and then Gandalf is AG002, and Pennywise is AG003. But then you're wondering, well, where's AG001? Turns out it's not like Hot Toys where the DX numbering is different than the MMS numbering. It's all 1, 2, 3. And the different element symbols relate to the quality. I use that in air quotes because I'm still not quite sure what that means based on this product classification guide. I did message John from Queen Studios, and he said he was he was off today, but he was gonna get back to us. So next week we'll probably update this. But to clarify, we have RH as rhodium. It's the series used to name the highest grade of InArt. PT from Platinum Element, the series of works used to name the InArt Luxury class. So again, Joker was in the PT line. AG as Silver Element, series of works used to name the InArt Advanced level. And HG as Mercury, the series of works used to name the InArt Standard grades. Now, one thing that I wasn't a big fan of is it seems like these, at least as far as I could tell, and a few other people I talked with as well, but it seems like these classifications are given when the figure is released. So it's not like Hot Toys where you're buying a DX and like you can expect a DX figure. With these ones, we didn't know that the Joker was a platinum or Gandalf or Pennywise were silver until the boxes were in hand. Now the photo on the left says, again, tier 1 is the highest, tier 4 is the lowest. And the bottom is a bit contradictory because this is the Joker. Ledger is in tier 2, while Aragorn is in tier 3. Gandalf was told to be in tier 1, but it seems like it released as tier 3. So at this point, I don't know that any of them that we know of are classified as tier 1. I've heard that, potentially the Joaquin Phoenix Joker might be tier 1. But I hope to get some more clarification. But I don't really see like a price difference because Gandalf was $530 and the Joker was about that price per rooted figure. It's all just very confusing, and I just don't really know as collectors if we should accept, like, if they come out with a figure at some point and it's the Mercury once it's released. Part of me is wondering, like, if I'm paying $500, why, if you're telling me you're setting out to make the best figures possible, how are you after the fact telling me, well, this is actually only tier 3 of 4, that we could have actually done it better, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Right? Because the pricing doesn't seem to fluctuate. They seem to all be about the same price. But I guess for me as a collector, if I know that Gandalf was a tier 3, part of me is wondering, like, why did I pay $530 when it, I feel like I should have paid less than the Joker, which is the second highest tier. It's all just very confusing, and we're hopefully going to get some clarification next week from John. He did read my message. He did respond. He's going to try to get back to us. So hopefully we'll have him be able to clarify. But to Ben's point, premium materials, premium price point, not premium materials. It's all a bit iffy because I think the Anakin, these are still pleather tabards. So it's like, you're telling me this is like your artisan edition. This should be the best that y'all can make, but you're still using subpar materials that are known to not hold up. It's just all interesting stuff. And then you have now this is a great point by Jam Fortnite. How a non-DX Wolverine gets a real leather jacket, but Vader and Anakin have the same basic materials for more price. If the artisan line is the highest form of figures, that's messed up. That might be a point for Hot Seat, Jam. Good for you. I also don't quite understand because I feel like you have silver but no gold, and then you have platinum and rhodium. I don't think rhodium is a precious metal. Neither is mercury. I don't understand why you wouldn't do platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. You know what I mean? Like, what is the point? Like, it just...
I don't know why they pick the elements or whatever, but I'm thinking... I wonder if the tiers only exist for the licensors. Because I remember him saying that the Joaquin Joker had to be a certain price point and a certain level in order for them to get the license for it. So that's the only reason why I'm guessing that's going to be a rhodium. So I'm wondering if the tiers only exist as something to tell the licensors, like, look, it's going to be this level or this level. Or...
That's an interesting point, Eddie.
That's a point. That's a point.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting there. I got to scroll through.
Yeah. But don't you think? Okay, so I like that point a lot, Eddie. But don't you think?
Sorry.
If you're creating this specifically as a sales tactic for licensors, that it would be a little less convoluted? Like, I absolutely hate how convoluted this is.
I
like
don't want to say... I'm going to answer your question before you finish. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it. This is what I do to Gigi all the time, and it fucking pisses her off, and now I get it.
Welcome to streaming. No, I'm just... Wow. I want to say that, look, I love InArt and Queen and some of the stuff they produce, but I've begun to notice that I feel like they kind of don't know what's going on either. They're just as confused about this system as we are. Like,
they're figuring stuff out, right? Like,
yeah, that's a better way of saying it. They kind of just start doing stuff and see how it goes. So
I'm especially like with their phase 1 announcement, right? Like, there are plenty of things that are maybe vestiges of what they planned to do when they got into the game, and now it's like, maybe we've abandoned this idea, but we're kind of holding on to it still.
I think the best, the Mike Tyson quotes, like everyone has a plan to get punched in the mouth. Like they came out like, we're going to answer all these questions. We're going to be like in the trenches with the collectors. And then, like they dealt with the collectors and now they're like, okay, this is gonna be a listening year now. We're going to scrap a lot of what we were planning to do. We're going to do some other things that we hadn't announced. It's all very, I mean, they're producing good stuff. And I think credit where credit's due. They released, 3 really solid, well, I guess like 4 if you count 5, I guess. But the Joker, Gandalf, and Pennywise, and the Gandalf and Pennywise were back to back. I mean, they got those out quick. Credit where credit's due. I think that's great, but I'm just so confused.
If Gandalf had the pants, if Gandalf had the pants print, would that have been a PT for you, or more of like an RH?
Well, they got the butterfly the wrong color, so we're talking HG.
We're in
just
HG.
kidding.
They did?
Yeah, I don't know why they did it black and blue. It's clearly white. It's like, who did y'all watch this movie? But to Ben's
black.
That's why it slipped to tier 3.
To Ben's point, it's like, when we see a DX by Hot Toys, right? We're always like, why is this a DX? Or we see a figure and we're like, why is this not a DX? I feel that way with this InArt system, right? It seems very arbitrary, right? It used to be PERS was the DX, and now every figure has PERS. And then it was like the foam packaging, and then, I feel like that's not really that special either. And then, I don't know. I feel like I'm lost. I just don't know.
And I would just be in favor of just scrapping all of these convoluted, whatever marketing speak tiers. Just focus on making the best figure possible. The price difference is normally negligible. They're charging us, like you said, just about the same for whether it's going to be DX or, okay, maybe the artisan kind of stands above all the rest at this point, but just make the best quality figures possible and just call it Hot Toys or call it InArt. I don't care at all about these tiers. I never pay attention to it. I just see a figure and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I want to add it. That's all that I care about. And I feel like most collectors would feel that same way if they're giving us high quality stuff over and over again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's part of the reason I was asking Marco, like if collectors actually want these higher tier items, because to be honest, lately it feels for me like it creates more stress than it does fun in the hobby, because I'm also not sure exactly what I'm going to get for the dollar amount that I'm spending, and or am I going to be able to afford all the figures that I want this year if they just haphazardly decide to put that particular character into an artisan line but not another one that I want. Like, the rules aren't defined, but that's fine, I guess. It's just that it makes it hard to want to buy some of them, and then see the price points just rising anyways. Like, it's going to happen. I think they're just trying to justify it, but it sucks. Bob Dylan says, reminds me of the syndrome of the Incredibles when everybody's super, no one is. DX line has been rendered moot, which is totally true.
I feel like this topic is a month too late. I'm sorry, Ben,
okay,
but like,
you fucking guy.
Because
what was your topic, Eddie?
No, you're right. Even though we said we were going to use Ben's topic and it ended up being the InArt topic anyway, but it's a month too late because these
give you a
both.
Point for that. How dare you say something so bold yet so controversial?
I'm doing good on points today. I feel like I should just.
You are
talking.
really good.
These both sold out, so I believe that I said this
another
live when these came
too.
out. I was like, they're just rooted hair with like what we think is better head sculpts, and everybody's like, oh yeah, the artisan line, we got to get these. They're expensive. It doesn't matter. We're gonna buy them. And I was like, but everything else still sucks, or it doesn't suck. It's good. It's good quality stuff. But like, it's not like if they're trying to compare this to InArt, it's not what InArt is doing. So why are we paying this much when it's not that great?
It's more because it's limited, Eddie.
Because it's limited.
Yeah,
more because
it's limited too. Yeah.
They could have not even done the rooted. Let's say they didn't do rooted, and they just said, "This is our artisan line. The figures look great. This is a specific version that's like a premium tier," and it still would have sold out. Maybe not for that exact price. Maybe not a Joker for $600, but they could have priced it higher than their normal ones, and because it's limited. So the limited is what's speaking to people.
In that sense, if the artisan line is just limited, then I think it makes sense why it's priced the way it is. But if it's just a higher end figure, I don't feel like they're hitting that mark. I feel like
they're not right.
it's just
the
the
Rudium.
label. Yeah.
Bob Dylan says both of the artisan editions are still for pre-order on Toys Wonderlands, so they're not sold out. That's because Toys Wonderland sucks, bro. That's
we
why.
don't talk about those who we don't not speak of.
Don't talk about my sponsors like that.
Voldemort.
Yeah, how dare you?
Oh, Justin dropped them, and there he went for Marco. They downgraded. That's where they're at right now.
They went to the Mercury tier.
Wow. The brown tier. What's the brown tier?
Wow.
MX, bro. Anyway.
Actually, it's LX.
That's pretty good.
X,
That's pretty good.
That's fucking pretty good, too.
Don't you dare give him another fucking point.
Bro, Eddie's okay, time out. I got a message. I don't want to... I admit, I forgot to send this to Eddie.
Oh, you hate
Let
to
me see here. Let me pull up this message. It was a nice message, actually. It's not a bad
compliment.
Message. A compliment. But I knew what Eddie's response was already going to be, so I didn't yet forward it to him.
Oh shit.
Okay, so they said it's been so good having Eddie on streams regularly again. His takes are often pretty on the money. I don't know if he's willing to come back to the Patreon chat, but it'd be nice having him back there too.
Fuck no.
He left a lot of the chats, but that's what I knew your response would be. But I just wanted to tell you that people appreciate the money talk. They like the money shot, as it were.
I appreciate it. For my own sanity, I try.
I
to stay
usually
out of
wait
chats.
until I see the money shot before I leave.
That is true. If there is no money shot, I get upset.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck did I just waste 15 minutes for?
I know, especially if I bust thinking that the money shot is coming, then it black screens. That
you're busting,
Sopranos.
and it's like view the rest of the video.
It kind of feels like artisan pleather.
It's like
And
45-minute video, and they cut out the last 10 seconds. It's like,
Then
And
I
you're
have
just
to
staring at
imagine
yourself in the reflection of the phone.
That's no good, man.
nut all over the iPad.
Oh no.
Oh god. What
I
is
appreciate that compliment, by the way.
Very nice
Whoever left
compliment.
that. I appreciate that.
Now I feel like chopped liver, but okay, fuck that guy.
Honestly, to me,
What do you
To
mean
me,
chopped
this-
liver?
I'm just kidding. I love you guys.
Chopped nut, bro.
this rhodium, platinum.
No one talks about how big my
silver-
cock is, Ben, if that makes you feel better.
We're taking Ben and his big cock to Bucky's, by the way, for those that are...
To Bucky's, I'll get a
about the
picture.
show. Sean says 15 minutes, are you watching for the story? You got to get the plot. I got to be invested. All right? I was watching this one video, and these Latina
Yeah, well, I need to know how
stepdaughters
she got stuck in the dryer, you know?
ran up their dad's electrical bill.
I need to know, like, is that his real mother or is it
I
stepmother?
hope not. That's illegal.
Yeah, it's like how are these dads going to convince each other to let them sleep with each other's daughter?
Like, how... If they're Latina
good bros.
stepsisters, wouldn't one of them be his actual daughter? That doesn't make any sense. Start looking too into it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, then you got to click on another video. It's the whole thing.
Oh my god.
So to me, this whole rhodium, platinum, silver, mercury, it seems very pretentious. Like, I don't know any other word for it other than that. Like, and maybe Eddie's right, and which sounds the most logical to me. It's not really for us; it's for the licensors. But it's just like, ew, like, oh, this is the rhodium tier. It's the absolute highest tier. It's like, okay, so what does that mean exactly? Because Gandalf's still missing pants prints. The fucking moth is the wrong color. Is that because he's in platinum tier? So if he was in rhodium tier, those things would be fixed. Like, it's just.
I ask
seems
myself
kinda,
that every day.
it just seems kind of like gross. Like, what the fuck are these tiers? Like, you came in here saying that we're gonna be the best, we're gonna fuck, but it's like, but now you're giving yourself tiers to not do the absolute best. It's fucking stupid to me. I need an explanation.
That should be a bell ring. That's a good point, Dean.
That is a good point.
Thank you. So like, I hope we get that answered by next week, because that just seems so dumb to me. So that's my take on that.
All right.
What's your take on the actual topic?
Oh, on the actual topic, I mean,
It's the last time I come up with ideas.
No, what the fuck? We have nothing to talk about, man. After
I'll forget to
almost
read the
300
chat.
episodes, I ran out of ideas.
Yeah,
I need someone who's fresh. I'm out of ideas, Ben.
I mean, if someone like InArt or Hot Toys is gonna say, "Hey, this is the absolute best we can do," and then they have things like the X-Men, the Wolverine with the leather jacket, but then the Anakin doesn't have leather. It's like it's very fucking confusing. But I think you should demand like, hey, if this is your artisan line and this is the absolute best, it needs to have leather. But collectors aren't gonna do that. They're gonna fucking buy it and still complain about it and be like, I'm part of the problem, LOL. But it's like, yeah, you are part of the problem. So what are you still complaining for if you're not gonna vote with your wallet? There have been plenty of figures that I didn't support because I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
I guess the other
and
weird
then he
part
bought a
about-
HasLab, so that's actually
Shut up! You shut your mouth.
Dean, the hardest choices require the strongest wills.
When I'll talk about it on.
You bought a HasLab?
We'll talk about it Thursday.
Holy shit.
Okay, Moose Dream says, FYI, this horse is dead. Move along, please. I almost want to spend even longer now.
Yeah, 12-inch Midstream. This is our show, not yours.
Moose Dream, I have one thing to say to you. I have one thing to say to you.
3, 2.
This is my show. I do what the hell I want on my show.
And I will tell you that in person next week, you fucking beautiful.
Dude, do people not understand that on YouTube streaming, we like to pulverize the horse? There is no dead horse ever.
Yeah, we
he
beat
doesn't
off
die.
the dead horse.
He's like a Star Wars character. He never dies.
Horses aside, you know what I think is weird? Did Hot Toys actually say the Artisan line is their best line, or did they just name the line and we were all like, wow, this must be the best line?
Yeah, we inferred it totally. They just call
we
it
totally
Artisan
inferred
DX.
it. I think it's in response too.
Well, okay, maybe it says in the Facebook post. I don't
check
read
right
every
now.
line.
No, yeah, I was
Do
curious.
your homework.
Hang on. Yeah, Ben, this is your topic. What the hell?
Yeah, why are you asking us for details?
Jesus, Ben.
I just thought of it. I don't know if we all inferred it as collectors that the Artisan line is supposed to be the best, or if they actually said this is supposed to be our best.
But I mean, that's what the DX was, right?
But did they ever say that?
DX was always deluxe. It never.
But then there was a deluxe line that had the DX,
which
and then
that
the
made no
deluxe.
sense. You're not wrong. Hang on, keep this going for a minute, please.
They just like fucking with collectors, man. They just like putting different things on there.
Throw things out there and watch us all scramble. Because next week they're gonna come up with like some other line that's the platinum line,
the gold line.
Yeah, the gold. I don't know.
Yeah,
and it's gonna have the rooted hair and leather outfits and stuff.
Could be, honestly.
Keep going. Just keep talking.
That's all I had.
So what do we think is the next character in this line of DX Artisan?
That's a good question. The Rock. Rooted hair.
No. I was like, yeah, what the fuck? He doesn't have hair.
Rooted stubble.
Predator. A predator, please, for the love of God, a new maybe that predator. Maybe that prey predator.
Oh, well,
not in the art.
I thought they already announced it.
Yeah, but they didn't announce
all the prototype.
Just the
what it is, or one of the John Wick ones. If they did a John Wick Artisan, that'd be pretty sick.
Actually, I think people would be into that with maybe some die-cast weapons. Could be.
Would you
really,
want
really
rooted
cool.
facial hair then, if that was the case? Like,
oh god,
if it's Artisan line, does he have to have like? Because I don't know.
I mean, Gandalf does. Why not?
Has to have rooted hair, facial hair, the little goatee. I could see it.
Okay, interesting.
That would be horrible. I could.
Yeah, I feel like just stick to the head hair. We don't need to. We don't need the facial hair.
So they say that it has phenomenal standards, superior level of craftsmanship. Let's see here. I don't know that they've ever outright said that it's their most premium line, but I feel like that's what they're trying to do, right? So it's perhaps inferred.
We have to be careful as collectors to
Tremble Dust
infer
said
things
root
like
the
that unless
eyebrows.
They say it.
If anyone dislikes this topic, I just want to be very clear. This was Ben's topic. I had nothing to do. Just kidding.
Told you.
No, I would never throw
Called
you under the
it.
bus like that. I would never do that.
It's a good question. I think they're gonna buy it anyways. I don't think it's good enough, but whatever.
So Dean, Bob Dylan says, I feel like Donald Trump is writing Hot Toys production descriptions now. What would that sound like?
Hot Toys is clearly the best. It really is. I talked to a lot of collectors. The best collectors.
That's it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We need to build a what?
Build the space wall. It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to hold the N1.
The Big Short was our movie of the week. Gosh, let me pull up the.
What is
There's
wrong
a
with
lot of
Michael?
big names in this movie.
What is wrong
Dude,
with
What is
Michael
wrong? Okay, so in
Scott? Doesn't
2008,
even
Wall
look
Street.
like him.
In 2008, Wall Street guru Michael Burry realizes that a number of subprime home loans are in danger of defaulting. Burry bets against the housing market by throwing more than $1 billion of his investors' money into credit default swaps. His actions attract the attention of banker Jared Vennet, hedge fund specialist Mark Baum, and other greedy opportunists. Together, these men make a fortune by taking full advantage of the impending economic collapse of America. I consider myself fairly intelligent, and I will be honest, at no point in this film did I have any fucking clue what was happening. And they did try to like dumb it down. There was like the little text overlays, the Margot Robbie stuff, like, and I appreciate that because I would have been even more lost. But bro, this movie was fucking awful. And it wasn't awful, like the movie itself was fine. I just had no clue what was happening. Like, you know, like everything's going bad and it's like, but it's going good, but these guys are happy. It's also
Can I
not
ask,
people.
can I ask you a question?
Well, hang on.
Zach?
It's also not people that like the housing collapse was such a awful thing. And it's like it's hard to feel good for these people because they're like making a lot of money. Like it's a bit too cutesy of a film for me, I guess. I
think that point is driven home by Christian Bale and Brad Pitt at the end. But so how much of the housing collapse do you remember? Obviously,
and I think that's
on the
a part
younger
of,
end.
Yeah, so it was 2007, I think, is in the movie when this all happens.
Yeah.
So my parents never had to struggle with that, like with that crisis, right? Like, fortunately, and I know a lot of people whose families did. But I was probably 14 when that happened, 15. And I feel like if I was older, this might make more sense maybe. But it's just like, these are all like super greasy people. And they're just like, I just didn't, it felt like a yucky thing to like make a comedy movie about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's kind of the point though, right? Like, it's,
you're
a
not
really
wrong.
Complex, really gross thing
It's
that
almost
happened.
like, and there's a lot of times in the world where people profit off of tragedy, right? And I'm not saying that the housing crash is, I mean, it was a tragedy, but it's like, it's not like a genocide where people are profiting off of, but still, like, a lot of people lost their homes because of this awful things. The bankers all basically got off scotch-free except for that one lady. It was hard for me to like root for anyone.
That's
and
the
it was
point,
hard
though.
for
Like,
me
you
to
don't
really
like The Godfather or like things with characters that are not super redeeming that you still.
I don't know. The Godfather, though, I think there is inherent good in some of those characters. Like, you know, maybe what is his name? Brad Pitt's character. I mean, he seemed to kind of just want to help these kids that were like, you know, acquaintances of his, and he was kind of lending them some of his connections. But Bob Dylan is saying, now I saw the trailer for this, I guess because I had searched The Big Short on TikTok, the GameStop movie, I think it's called Dumb Money or something like that. That I do want to watch because that film I think is more of a for the people. That's what this movie was going to be, and it wasn't. And I don't know. I guess it's possibly like, before I say something really stupid, I need to Google it. But the Wolf of Wall Street's kind of like a similar film, right? Where like these people are taking advantage of like the average person, right?
I think you're seeing inside of a world that you might not normally get a glimpse at, right? Where these folks are, involved in this trading and making lots of money. And I think it's supposed to feel icky. Like you're not supposed to.
I guess for me, it's like I never watched The Godfather and felt icky because it's fiction, but like I guess maybe it was a bit too real because it's like a real like I don't know if these people are real people, but like this is a real thing that happened, and a lot of people got a lot of money off of it, and a lot of people got fucked. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bob Dylan said it best. It's about white people that take a bunch of money from rich white people and then become rich white people. It's just like, I'm just like, I mean, I guess, like, I don't know. It wasn't a pleasant watch for me. One, because I had no clue what was going on, and I just didn't really want anyone to win at the end, which I guess a lot of them didn't, but, I mean, they won.
In all fairness to this movie, the people in the movie don't know what the fuck is going on. And they're experts in the fields. And they're all finding out about this as you are, the watcher. And even they're fucking confused. Like, wait, can you
when they go talk to that lady,
when they talk
to that lady, and she's like, I don't have to disclose this, like why this isn't math.
Right.
It's just so sketchy that no one was really like.
Yeah, and even at the end of the movie where they go talk to the reporter, and he's like, I ain't fucking touching this. I'll lose all my credibility in every relationship I've built here. Like, I got to watch out for myself too. And it's like, because of people like that, this was allowed to happen. And unfortunately, at the end of the movie, it's like, it's still going on. This shit is still happening. It was a weird movie to frame as a comedy. I didn't appreciate the random cameos, although I did really love seeing Anthony Bourdain. I miss him every day. But and I guess to be fair, it is so complicated. Here's somebody to dumb it down for you. And I didn't like the kind of like, I don't want to say condescending nature, but that fourth wall breaking of the movie, and it's funny, and like, look how funny Margot Robbie is explaining this horrible shit to you. I just didn't like it. It was a weird movie to make a comedy. And yeah, it's like, you really can't root for anybody in the movie because they're all, even if like what's his name's character, Steve Carell's character, is just trying to stick it to the man by playing their own game against them, he's still playing with people's mortgages and their lives and their livelihood.
Yeah.
And he's got a sub story with his brother that has did what he did before the movie starts, and that was kind of cool to give some human nature to at least one of the characters in the movie. And at the end of the movie, he's got that realization, like, I'm part of the problem. Even though we came out on top, sort of, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that was kind of nice to see. But yeah, it was.
And Christian Bale has that same, right? Like, he resigns at the end as well because he's realizing, like, this is a fucked up system. So I think that icky feeling that you guys are feeling, the confusion, like, I've seen this movie multiple times because I really enjoy it, because it's a aspect of history that I was still in college when this crisis happened. I felt the effects in the job market trying to get a job out of school. So it's something that I kind of vaguely understood, but this movie does it really does a cool attempt at making it a comedy, because it is really fucked up that you probably wouldn't want to sit through this if they weren't trying to make it palatable
You're
in some type of way.
Wrong.
Yeah, like they put a bunch of big
point.
stars. They made it kind of funny. They made concepts that are incredibly complex at least slightly manageable. Like, again, I had to rewatch this movie several times just to kind of grasp, like, okay, the tranches, okay, the triple Bs, like it is complex. And I think that's the whole point, is like, this system is incredibly flawed because it's so complex that it's meant to keep out the average Joe so that the Wall Street folks can profit from it. And they're gambling with people's lives. People will lose homes because these systems are rigged, because they're so complex that we can't access it, that they kind of keep back special, trading platforms so they can all get rich off of this. Well,
Yeah.
Joe Schmo is just trying to day-to-day make a living, try to pay their mortgage. I think we all either live in a home that we own or that someone else owns. So I think in that respect, you can relate to it. So to me, this is one of my favorite films, honestly. I get everything that you guys felt, but I think that is the intended purpose from why they did this.
Okay, so two things. I understand the basic plot that Moose is saying here. The basic plot is that Bale was gambling, that the mortgage market will collapse. He predicted and was right. I completely understand that. I guess what I don't understand, which I think is affecting a lot of my enjoyment of this film, is I don't understand like the bonding of mortgages together, and I didn't understand. Like, I understood the analogy of like, these are all the triple B like shitty loans, and these are the really prime ones up top, but like they will like, I understood that. That was a really well done analogy. I guess just what I didn't understand, again, because I don't have any of this experience and I don't really understand a lot of this stuff, was like, I don't think they did a good enough job explaining like what shorting it was, and like like they were buying, like the Venetti guy was like selling his investment to another company, but then he worked for the bank. There was
You're
like
not
very
wrong about that. It's
crucial
still
stuff.
it's still convoluted. Yeah.
There was very crucial stuff that I completely didn't understand, that really made it hard for me to follow. And it got to the point where I started the movie, I had my phone, I restarted it and put my phone away, and then I would like have to keep pausing to read the Wikipedia to like try to understand it a lot. And even reading it, a lot of it went over my head. Like I don't know. Like,
did it make you interested to
because
learn more about the market, though? Are you like, the stuff that I don't understand?
Not
I
really.
Want to learn more.
Not really, because
you own a home, though, right? Like, you're
well,
not.
I own a home, but
about...
a lot of these things. So Victoria's watched this movie with me, and she works for a bank, like not in the bank, but her company's like a huge company, but they are partially a bank, and she has to go through training where they call out these companies by name for different regulations that have changed because of this. Now, obviously, at the end of the movie, a lot of some of the shady shit is still happening, but they did also make some tremendous changes since this happened and since the collapse. But she thought it was interesting to see, like, oh, this company, like, we have to do this training because of that and this and this. So I don't know that I'm necessarily interested because, the way I bought my house was like it's fixed rate. Like, we could afford this house, and it was
for now.
Like looking at. Well, I mean,
for now
is
the scary part. So and sorry to interject, Zach, but like, I didn't see the movie, so I apologize, and I may be slightly off topic here, but
yeah,
I was talking about this very thing today with my barber, actually, because I recently went through essentially a divorce, and during that time, I had to sell my house. Now, I'd had that house for $300,000, at 1.68%. for 5 years. And it was an amazing rate for 5 years. The Canadian rate now is over 6%, which means that even if I hadn't gone through that time in my life, I may have still had to sell that house anyways, because my payment on that house was about to like double and a half times what it was, which is insane. But at the same point with regards to market, inflation keeps happening. Like these houses, like the $700,000 mortgage that exists now at 6% is going to be unaffordable for the average person.
Yeah, you're 100%
or
correct.
way already is. So the crash is bound to happen again, which I think is scary. Which is why I think Marco says like that must apply to you to an extent, because right now, while you have a safe rate, if in 5 years that rate is 18%, like it was back in however,
so I guess it might be a cultural thing, and I don't know if in Canada everyone has the option, or if anyone even has the option, but in America we have fixed rate and then variable rate. So my rate is fixed for 30 years. So
is your rate not, is your rate adjustable, Ben?
Yeah, so we have to renew our rates every so we have terms. So we have like 1, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year terms, and then that rate changes with our prime lending rate of Canada.
Holy
so
shit.
Definitely different.
And if anything,
definitely different than the States. 30 years is insane. That's amazing. So I apologize. I was definitely
no.
wrong
That's a great perspective, because we don't just have U.S. listeners. But if anything, I'm not that worried about it, Marco. Inflation and the economy collapsing, obviously, both me and Victoria have semi-safe jobs. But for me, the biggest thing was property taxes, because in Texas it was going fucking wild. But they just put like limits on that stuff this year, so it shouldn't be crazy. But you're right. Like maybe one day I can't afford it, but at the moment, knock on wood, God forbid, I think we're good.
Well, the same exact thing's not going to happen there.
But I think what Marco's saying, also, it's like when we bought a house, like I don't know how long ago you bought a house, Marco. I assume it was after the crash. But when we bought a house, it was so much like checking and financial history and credit card stuff and bank statements, and they really wanted to make sure. I don't know if this is common or if it's just our lender, but they really wanted to make sure we can actually afford this house.
Mm-hmm.
And in this movie, there's those two scenes. They're back to back, but the I guess like the lenders where they're like, oh, like we do ninja loans, like no job, no income, like this stripper has like 5 houses and a condo. Like it was that bad, right? People were getting mortgages they couldn't afford, and everyone was just green lighting that shit and just passing the buck, and that's why we got in that situation. But
you're right
yeah,
that the same exact thing won't happen because there aren't the same
or
amount
hopefully
of variable
right.
rate, right? Yeah, but there are big deficiencies in our system where certain folks are set up to profit, where they benefit from middle to lower income folks. So I feel like there's still a lot of lessons to learn, and that's really scary, Ben, what you're talking about. And when you're saying there could be a market crash, I could see that
because every 2 to 5 years you might not be able to afford your house anymore.
That's crazy. That's
right.
insane.
Like we have 25-year amortization periods, so like the length of time to which you will pay your mortgage off, and then they break that into those terms, and they change those interest rates at the end of every term. And it's crazy. And like we got lucky. Like when we bought that house, we got it at such a low rate that we could afford it, right? But then again, nobody expected here that we'd see a 5% increase in a rate in 5 years. So like I might have sold the house literally at the perfect time. I might not have been able to afford that place today.
You never know. And if folks may be asking, what does this have to do with collecting? I feel like this has everything to do with collecting, and that this movie kind of shows you that these world markets that you think that it's being controlled by benevolent forces, by folks that know what they're doing, and at the end of the day, a lot of people don't know what they're fucking doing. People are running blindly to make as much money as possible, to put together whatever scheme they can, and at the end of the day, our markets are built on very, very unstable foundations that could collapse at any time. So I think it's really relevant.
Yeah, Oilers is saying the brokers are in the middle, and you can place bets on which way the seesaw will go, and that's how you can win, because there are those people trading against each other's interests. You can make money. I understood that as well. I guess and it seems like such an insignificant point for me to stick on, but it's like imagine trying to understand like geometry and you just can't get that first concept that everything builds off of. Like that's where I'm struggling, and I don't know that like I don't know. I don't know that it's really that important for me to understand it, but it's just like
I think it is important for all of us to understand this at a fundamental level, like what they're talking about.
Even
everyone
like the
should understand that.
Even the GameStop stuff, like I understood how the average person made money. What I didn't understand is why the rich people lost money. And even as dumbed down as I've read it on Reddit, no pun intended, even then I was just like, I've never really, the closest stock experience I had was when we all bought Doge, and then we made like a few $100 and that was it. But like, I don't know. Like I missed out on that GameStop thing, and I feel like an idiot, but hindsight's 2020. But
also at the end of the day, the ultra wealthy are going to be protected. They're going to get the bailouts, the airlines, the banks,
and that's what really pisses me off, Marco.
And
to be honest,
average Joe, it should piss you off. That's what this movie should piss you the fuck off.
Yeah, even within our own collectible sphere, like Sideshow had, I think it was like a $780,000 loan forgiven, but it's like they did pretty well on collectibles during the pandemic. Like I don't know. I think there were when we look at like the student loan forgiveness thing and people are against it, but it's like, okay, but your business that you own got a PPP loan forgiven.
It's all trickle down. It's going to get to you eventually, Zach. Just be patient. It'll all trickle to you eventually.
I'm waiting for the trickle. I want Ben to trickle on me at Oxcon.
Oh my god.
Trickle down sounds a lot like swimming upstream.
Yeah, there we go.
Here we go. Movie of the week. So we want you guys to be able to watch ahead, as it were. So episode 286 will be Mrs. Doubtfire, chosen by Ben. Episode 287 will be Across the Spider-Verse. And next episode, we'll open up the fans' choice again during the live show for us to pick episode 288's fans' choice film. So
I did try to pick The Crow, but we couldn't all find it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so.
it is what it is. Let's see here, Dean. We have some angels that we need to thank for keeping the network going.
Sweet, beautiful angels. Give a huge shout out to Ian CV, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louie, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas. There's Kevin. Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Giz, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Swisser, Six Guns Figs, Billy Badfish, Toy Cartel, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krepp, Big Old Fern, Caesar Marquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomansky, Rick DiGregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Alad Morgan, Tukothri Wah, Derek B, Arias Portillo, Alvin J, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don, Stephen Percha, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. What a bunch of angels.
Look at that. Calvin says, I must finally try Whataburger. You should, man. It's fantastic. Yeah. Let's see here. For the September, October Patreon benefits, I think what I'm going to do is just combine the Small Talk sticker with this package, just so I can kind of catch up on everything at one time. But we have the episode 3000 sticker. Both of these were done by Manny, and the CW Halloween sticker, which the chat was going crazy about trying to guess what it was this morning, and I loved it. But these will, at least the 3000 one will be like that glitter sticker. Maybe the CW Ox one, if I can, kind of figure that out, how to make it look good. But yeah, this is a really great set of stickers that Manny has designed for us.
I love that Halloween sticker, dude.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, Quinn said it was a Mr. Krabs sticker. Mark says, love the CW gang sticker. Let's see here. For the Patreon tiers, we have the $5 hot seat tier, which is the digital Patreon tier. We have the $750 $750 tier for stickers sent straight to your door, and all the digital benefits as well. The $15 figure fix assistance and the $25 Pog Deluxe set, and all the doubles of all the stickers we send, rather. And all the benefits of the previous tiers. YouTube channel members, we have Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andres IB, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hansen, Big Ol' Fern, Blurred Dad Life, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, Cram, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Dante's Boneyard, Eclectic Collector, Equan, Fat Batman, Gear Bear, Gotham Cenobites, Jake, Just Another Friday Night, Justin Sports Cards, KJ Smith, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Eddie Money Mendez, Mr. Mom's Collectibles, Knight, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 1-6 Vigor Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S Beam, Sam Giss, Slifer, SpongeBob SquareBall, Sunnyvale Russ, The Ben Thomas Show, Toy Cartel, and Zeke. Special shout out to Paul Schreiber, helped us secure the movie theater for our private showing of Empire Strikes Back during OxCon. YouTube membership starts at 99 cents if you're a Patreon member, or $2.99 if you are in the Peanut Gallery. You get access to loyalty badges, emojis, and member shoutouts. Taking a look at TeePublic, got some cool stuff there. We'll probably put up both of those CW shirts for you guys to order with the new stickers that we just got. Taking a look at the network, we have live unboxing on Mondays, Question of the Week on Sundays, OxPD. We'll try to get one going soon. Just been a bit of a weird few weeks for us. O-Factor celebrated their 100th episode last week, and Small Talk celebrates their 100th episode this week. Very excited for that. Very proud of them. I think I'm going to try to be on for that. Just depends on a few things. After Dark tomorrow at 10:30, we talk about our dreams, our lives, our trials, our tribulations, and more. Live and Let Dice going live this Saturday. Hopefully, Cody got real sick, had to go to the ER last time they were supposed to play, and we weren't able to. And Bricks and Brews just filmed this Sunday, so very cool stuff there. Taking a look at giveaways, we have the Small Talk episode 100 giveaway. 2 winners will be chosen at random on episode 100. To enter, you have to subscribe to this channel on YouTube, which I'm pretty sure everyone is already, and follow Small Talk CW on Instagram and comment on the giveaway post. The prizes are the Star Wars Droids Black Series Boba Fett, and then the the Spider-Man Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2 from the PS5 game. So really exciting stuff there. Do you guys have anything you want to plug for your channels respectively?
No, Let's Get Nuts will be back, but in 3 weeks. So October 8th. So if anybody missed this last Sunday because of football or anything like that, definitely tune in. It was a fun show with Eddie and Classy Thomas and Pete and the gang. So, we also had Jose G. Hernandez finally on the channel again, and he's got a brand new crispy microphone, so it's definitely worth checking out that
What did he
video.
get?
But he got a Yeti, so
nice.
nice microphone. And I felt proud because I helped him get it all set up. So I felt like you, Zach. The torch has been
the
passed.
Ox Sun. Wow.
But Let's Get Nuts will be back on October 8th. So I'll put a link up for that when it's going.
You were but the learner. Now you are the master.
Wow. Marco.
Nothing much coming up. I would just say check out the last episodes of Bargain Bin Bros and of She Said No podcast, and a little bit of a hiatus, but we should be back here pretty soon.
Eddie, you got anything going on your channel?
Absolutely not.
Hell yeah.
I have ideas in my head, but
There you go.
I've been too busy. I just like streaming on other people's channels and letting them do all the work while I
There you go.
just be
Soaking the
good-looking,
fame and the points, apparently. All the
Exactly.
points.
He had a lot of good points today, I must say. Yeah, be sure. Really, I know a lot of us do the 1/6 scale stuff, but if you're here now, you're a big fan of CW because kind of everyone, a lot of people tune out at this point. But I think it would really mean a lot to Sean Thursday if everyone showed up in Small Talk. They work really hard, all of those guys there. So if you're free Thursday about 9 o'clock, definitely stop by. Even just drop a jumbo. I'm sure they'd really appreciate it. They've worked hard. Small Talk started a few years back. Damien had decided to step down, and Dylan was nice enough to step up with Sean. Sean stepped up as well, and then when Dylan stepped down, Sean was nice enough to keep that going for the
Carrying
community.
the torch.
Yeah, so really proud of them, and with Chris and Badfish, and Eddie pops in a lot too. They've been a really strong team. So
Have they been knighted with the small sword as well?
I actually probably should just knight everyone at OxCon.
Can you
I have
Good
so
opportunity.
many wonderful people. I don't recall every single person that has been knighted, but yeah.
Can
Eddie,
you
are gonna be
confirm
there
that
on
you're?
Thursday?
What's that, Dean? And then Marco.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Oh.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you
And I
confirm
want to
that
hear
your
this
sword
HasLab
is?
talk.
Holy Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna fuck myself.
Marco, go ahead.
Can you confirm that your sword is called the Big Short?
Yes. Actually, it's
I thought
thick
you were
short.
talking to Dean.
The thick short.
hell?
Oh,
It's
got it,
as
got it.
wide as it is long.
That's the big fat.
Is
There you
your
go.
sword circumcised?
It is.
Wow.
It is.
Wow,
Wow.
unique one.
Anyways,
See how it is.
Yeah, if anything, small talk. Well, I gotta eat some crow in the HasLab, but we'll get there.
Oh.
yeah.
So if you want to hear
Well, now
that
I'm definitely showing up.
conversation,
A man
I
can
do.
only admit when he was wrong. Yeah,
I'm not
Quinn
wrong
says-
still, but
Well, you
We'll
did.
talk about
You made a goof. You goofed.
I didn't goof.
Anyways, I'm
I've spent
Zach.
zero money.
Well, you're gonna spend money. I get it for free.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Eddie.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Bye, drama.